Keith from Florida. Hi.
Hello, Puck and Rudy and Jena. How are you guys tonight?
Doing
Doing
fabulous.
good.
That's good. I honestly have, I grew up religiously, like I'm sure most of you, all of you guys did. All of you guys have said so. And I took the purity culture thing very, very seriously. Like, I'm 33 years old and I'm still a virgin because I fell out of religion so late, and since I just haven't had an appropriate opportunity. And I don't think people understand how terrible it is. I mean, they had me feeling like, watching porn is bad. It wasn't just purity amongst each other. You couldn't even watch porn. You couldn't even do anything with yourself. I got to the point where I was wanting to cry because I couldn't go more than a week without watching porn. And I don't think the world at large really understands. And I suspect there's a lot of people that are feeling trapped like this and just they think that they're abnormal. I know I thought I was abnormal.
When I was a teenager, I had a calendar in my room and I would mark off the calendar with a green check or a red X depending on whether or not I had masturbated that day.
Wow.
Like I was pretty dead. I felt like I was an addict and I needed to be stopped. And I needed to like I was so disappointed when I think the longest I went was like 3 months, all green checks, and then one night I couldn't sleep and I got my red X and I felt so torn up about that. It really fucked with my self-esteem. You are super not the only person that has been there. A lot of people who have experienced religious trauma have been there, and there's a lot of people who don't realize they've been religiously traumatized that have been there and think that that's normal, which I think is even worse, like not even realizing how fucked up that situation is.
Yeah, I thought it was normal. I thought I was the abnormal one.
No,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that there are shows like this that exist that show, and thank you very much for calling and putting some light on this, that a lot of people don't realize how much harm there is and how much pressure there is in young church culture to maintain this level of purity, or as I came to find out, maintain the appearance of the purity. And it makes you feel like the odd one out, and it makes you feel like you can't go up to someone that you should trust and say, I'm struggling with this. And instead of, you talk to us about something like this and you'd probably get nods of understanding. It's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Over there, you're more likely to get chastised, and it makes it more difficult to want to come out and talk to these people if you know all you're going to do is get yelled at and told that you didn't pray enough or you weren't pure enough, right? And growing up, I had a lot of my peers in high school come up to me, and we would talk about stuff that they would never be able to talk to about in their church settings, because they needed to maintain that appearance, at least, of being all chaste and pure. And they felt so torn up about even just having the thoughts in the first place. Never mind wanting to act on it, but just, I shouldn't be thinking this. There must be something wrong with me, like you pointed out. And these thoughts are normal. They happen. You're going to get aroused. You're going to find people attractive. You're going to find people attractive that maybe you wouldn't have thought that you would find attractive, but it's there anyway. And then you get thrown into this culture where you're not supposed to have those. So we're not going to talk about it, and we're going to make you feel bad for having it. So thank you for calling attention to this. I'm glad you called us. Jena, what do you think?
Yes, and I want to look at it on the other end now that I'm going to assume, Keith, you are non-religious now, correct?
Yes, I'm non-religious now, atheist, and trying to become a skeptic and possibly a humanist. We'll see.
We're all trying.
Yeah. And I guess I'm gonna try and formulate this as a question, but I'm just kind of putting it out there, and you can kind of answer it however willingly that you want to, because on the opposite end, whether you are still a believer or not, and given the age that you are, and you have freely expressed that you are still a virgin, have you also, now that you're out of this, on this end, been met, given your age, that, oh, you're still a virgin, what's wrong with you?
Yes, definitely. People don't understand, and not only do I get that, but with my friends that I have now that are, I don't think any of them would go as far as regularly adopting the atheist label, but they're definitely secular. They don't think it's a big deal. They really don't care about it at all, and they seem to think it's weird that I do. And yet, whenever I talk to anybody about it outside of my small friend group, oh, you're a virgin? That's so weird. And I get weird looks, and sometimes they then treat me like I'm a weird thing. And it's like, I don't mind being viewed as weird, but I want to be viewed as weird for my sense of humor, not for that.
Right.
Sounds like you picked good friends if they're not giving you shit for something so superfluous. I'll just say that to start with. Sounds like you've got good friends if they don't give a shit, because really, I don't even like using the term still a virgin. You don't ever have to stop being a virgin. There's no requirement. It's not a rite of passage. It's not like something you've got to do to be a person. Like, oh, you're an adult and you still haven't done the sex? You haven't done a sex yet? Well, when are you going to be an adult? When are you going to? You don't have to. I mean, I'm not saying that you necessarily, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to. I'm just saying the idea that there is a requirement to not be a virgin at some point is just arbitrary. It's not true.
Let me say, one of the worst experiences of my life is being looked down on by a 20-year-old college girl who was part of our regular friend group for a while for being a virgin. Oh, you don't know what you like. What the hell does that mean? Oh, I don't know my sexual preferences just because I haven't had sex? What the hell? And that's
I'm glad they are a former member of the friend group. That was probably a good idea to yeet that one right out of the circle.
Yeah.
No, it's an unfortunate amount of pressure that you get. So and that's one of the other dangers of purity culture is like not just the pressure not to do anything, but the pressure of you should have done something by now.
Just the idolizing of sex in general, just the making it a big deal. Like, nobody says that they're a virgin about skydiving if they've never skydived. And people aren't going to be like, you've never skydived? You're 30. You haven't skydived yet? Like, it's just not a thing that we do about anything else, really.
Yeah.
We don't.
Being in Southern California, I'm a virgin to snow. I never touched it. I've never.
You've never touched snow, you fucking weirdo.
I know.
Can't believe you.
Snowball? What's that?
I ran away from Maine to Florida to get away from that stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Except Florida, you have your own set of natural disasters down there that I don't even want to come close to dealing with. Keith, thank you very much for calling, and we're glad that you brought to light some things that we're very happy to talk about and that we should talk about. You know what? I'm glad you feel you're among friends and that you can talk to us and be open with us, and that you feel comfortable in the setting. That means we're doing our job. We're doing the right things over here. So thank you very much, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a relief to speak about it. Have a good one.
Good night.
You too.
We're glad. Thank you.